Good Friday afternoon. I'm Dana Tyler, and here is your CBS2 update. We are heading into a real stretch of heat in the tri-state area. Take a look at the crowds dealing with the extreme heat. This is Oakland Beach and Rye. A lot of people looking for relief days before. Well, we're going to have a lot starting tomorrow. 90-degree days, possibly even today. And when you put in that feels like temperature thing, more than 100 degrees. That's what it could be. Let's get the formal explanation from CBS2's John Elliott.
Hi, everybody. Here we go. Let's just wrap our head around it. It is going to be hot, and it's going to be humid, and it's going to stay that way. Today, northwest wind, dew points, humidity values are not crazy. It's still hot, so it's going to feel like 90, 92. Tomorrow, yeah, we start to feel it, mid-90s. And then by Sunday, even in the city, you could see a heat index or real feel of 103 degrees. And notice numbers are going to hover well above 90 Monday into Tuesday of next week. So there's a lot to deal with. You got to force the fluids. If you're thirsty, it's almost too late. You want to make sure you're ready for that. Have the sunscreen on. UV index is a 9 around the area. And again, at the beach. Now, going to the beach, there'll be some relief. I mean, quite a bit of relief with that wind out of the south later in the weekend. But don't forget, watch those flags. High rip current risk. So get in, cool off, but don't go too far in. Be smart. Come on, let's get through this. It's a toasty finish to the work week. But that wind out of the northwest really benevolent in the sense that you don't see the humidity creep up. That's tomorrow. See, that high builds in, so you get more of a shift out of the southwest and south. So it's that sizzling sun, 94. You're feeling it. Got to watch the kids. Got to watch mom and dad. Got to watch the pets. Got to watch the house. And don't do your laundry because, I mean, I know you need to do laundry, but remember the power grid. 97, hot, hot, hot on Sunday, and it's the triathlon, too. Notice those 90s. Stick around.
Wow. 2 people were injured, one seriously after 2 boats collided in Jamaica Bay off Brooklyn. Chopper 2 was over the bay just after 11 this morning as the NYPD harbor unit pulled one damaged boater out of the water. The 2 victims were taken to the shore. Then one of the people went to Staten Island University Hospital with serious injuries. The other person suffered minor injuries. Well, if you are out on the water in this heat wave, a lot of people going to the beach or into the swimming pools, police and emergency crews are urging us very seriously to be safe around the water. Always be alert of your surroundings to prevent any type of tragedy. They say the difference between surviving and drowning is only a matter of a few seconds. Young children are especially at risk. They can drown in less than 2 inches of water.
Remember, as an adult, you are responsible for having young children at an arm's length anytime you're around water. Accidents can happen quickly.
Water safety instructors also say if there are no lifeguards on duty, do not go into the water. And when you're at a beach, as John said, only swim in an area that is a flagged area. Be aware of rip tides, rip currents. Stay with us. CBS2 for continuing coverage of this extreme heat and the impact of it on the tri-state area. We are following a developing story right now. A school bus ran off the road on the New Jersey Turnpike near Cherry Hill. We're told the 8 to 10 children on the bus were hurt. Minor injuries, though. They were from the Boys and Girls Club of Plainfield, headed to the Camden Aquarium for a field trip. The father of the Paramus student killed in the school bus crash on Route 80 last month is calling for new legislation to keep unsafe bus drivers off the roads. Giovanni Vargas's 10-year-old daughter, Miranda, and a school teacher, Jennifer Williamson, were killed. Police say the driver tried to make an illegal U-turn. 77-year-old Hootie Muldrow faces charges of vehicular homicide. Muldrow had a long history of offenses, including moving violations and license suspensions. A law introduced today in Miranda's name calls for background checks on drivers and seatbelts for all children in school buses.
How could someone that has their driver's license suspended 14 times be trusted with the life of my daughter? I ask myself that question every day. Yesterday would have been Miranda's 11th birthday. I am here to tell her story and honor her legacy.
The children from Paramus were heading on a field trip when the bus collided with a dump truck. More than 40 passengers were injured in the crash. Now to the latest on the 5 people killed yesterday in Annapolis, Maryland at the Capital Gazette newspaper. President Trump just recently addressing the tragedy.
This attack shocked the conscience of our nation and filled our hearts with grief. Journalists, like all Americans, should be free from the fear of being violently attacked while doing their job.
We are also learning more about the accused shooter and his history with the newspaper. Here's CBS2's Kenneth Craig.
38-year-old Jared Ramos appeared via closed-circuit TV in a Maryland court this morning. He's charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder. Ramos is accused of opening fire at the Capital Gazette newspaper in Annapolis Thursday afternoon.
The fellow was there to kill as many people as he could kill.
In court, the prosecutor said Ramos carried out a coordinated attack that included barricading an exit.
There was one victim that had attempted to escape through the back door and was shot.
Police say Ramos targeted the Capitol because of a long-standing feud. He sued the newspaper for defamation in 2012. The paper published a story about Ramos pleading guilty to harassing a woman he went to high school with. The case was later dismissed. Authorities say Ramos also made threats against the Capitol in 2013 on social media, but the paper did not want to press charges.
There was a fear that doing so would exacerbate an already flammable situation.
Just hours after the shooting, several Capitol staff members were seen working in a nearby garage. And today, the Capitol published its regular morning paper. Inside, you can see the opinion page was intentionally left blank to honor the victims. It says, "Today, we are speechless." Those victims include John McNamara, who is a sports reporter and the author of 2 books. He was working on a 3rd about basketball. Features writer Wendy Winters was a mother of 4. Her daughter says she believed in never acting or admitting her age. A GoFundMe page created by a fellow journalist already has raised more than $100,000 for funeral costs. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Annapolis, Maryland.
On Long Island, a 70-year-old math teacher is accused of having inappropriate relationships with 2 of his underage students. He is in custody now. Suffolk County Police say Jairo Inswasti is charged with 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. Inswasti teaches at Central Islip Senior High School. The alleged victims are 16-year-old girls who were his students at the time these alleged relationships took place. Inswasti is expected to be arraigned at a later date. Well, it is the 4th of July weekend, but people are already leaving, some even last night. And the TSA says this holiday weekend is going to be just huge numbers of people flying. Here's CBS 2's Janelle Burrell.
Whether you're flying, driving, or taking the train, the key is to get out the door early, and tens of millions of Americans all have the same idea. With the holiday falling in the middle of the week, they are starting their vacation today. The Fraser family is ditching New Jersey to spend Independence Day on vacation in Disney World. They got up early for their 10:30 flight, but apparently not early enough.
6 a.m. and that's late. Be clear, that's late. So if you hear this, stop being lazy and get up.
TSA officials say they are among more than 141,000 people traveling through Newark Airport today alone. Nationwide, AAA is predicting 3.67 million people will be flying for the holiday, which they say would break the record of passengers and crew flying on a single day, set back during Thanksgiving of 2004. It's why they're urging people to arrive for their flights early, 2 hours ahead for domestic flights, 3 hours for international travel.
What has your experience been so far today?
So far, it's been smooth.
If you're leaving town by car, you better plan ahead for that too. AAA officials say of the 47 million Americans traveling for the holiday, 85% of them will be driving. These East Orange residents started their road trip before dawn, hoping to beat the gridlock.
Started out early in the morning, about 5 o'clock we left, and trying to go all the way from here to Long Island, and this is the time to do it.
No one wants to be stuck in traffic.
Back at Newark, the Frasers managed to clear their first hurdle, the ticket line.
We waited, 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
right? So it's not too bad.
Now it's on to the last obstacle before their flight, and finally vacation.
And you still have to go through security, right? So
See that? We got to get going.
Experts say the day before the 4th of July, Tuesday, will be the busiest if you're traveling by car. They say Tuesday afternoon in particular will be the worst for gridlock, so plan accordingly. At Newark Airport, Janelle Burrell, CBS 2 News.
Some people looking for relief in the heat in New Jersey could get shut out if Governor Murphy and state lawmakers don't come up with a budget agreement by midnight tomorrow night. If that does not happen, state parks and beaches will be closed come Sunday. Same thing happened last 4th of July weekend. State Senate President Steve Sweeney says the talks are continuing with Governor Murphy about how to pay for the $37 billion budget. That's your CBS 2 update this hot Friday. We're always on social media right here as well, and on television, CBS 2. Stay hydrated, stay cool. Have a good day. I'm Dana Tyler. See you later today. CBS 2 News at 6 o'clock.